Yo! Greetings, fellow human beings. It's great to be back again. Another week, another coaching video brought to you guys. Um, Today is all about no 0 days. Okay, no 0 days. What does that mean? Well, it's very similar to another concept called habit stacking, which a guy called James Clear writes about in his book Atomic Habits. Just here. So basically, the brain builds synapses. So synapses are the connections between our neurons, and the more frequently you use certain synapses, the more that reinforces them and builds more of them between the neurons. Now, the less you use of them, your body starts pruning those synapses basically. So if you don't use it, you lose it, right? So that's why when you're creating new habits and behaviours, the more you do something, the more you start to kind of solidify that new habit and behaviour into your day. Basically, the more you do something, the more stronger and efficient those connections become in your brain. Okay. So basically, habit stacking is a way of adding new habits onto already well ingrained older habits. This is particularly effective because you're creating, first of all, you're creating a trigger, then you're creating a small habit on top of that trigger. And once you've ingrained that habit into your life, you can then start building a new habit on top of that. So personally for me, last year, for nearly a year now, I've been doing my cold showers in the morning and my 15-minute meditations. Cold showers are varied from 2 minutes to 1 minute, but no matter what, every time I get in the shower now, I have to have a minute cold shower at some point. It's become so ingrained, I can't not do it. In fact, I feel guilty if I've had a shower and I haven't had at least a minute of it cold. And then after that, I always make sure I do my 15 minutes of meditation, and that's been non-negotiable in my day for like the last year pretty much. So, my habit is out of bed in the morning. I make my bed. I guess making the bed is the very first thing. So I make my bed very first thing in the morning. It's a small win straight off the bat. Okay. Then I get in the shower, have my cold shower. I time it. I know it sounds crazy, but I make sure I time it so I don't have too much of a cold shower. And then as soon as I'm out of the shower, I sit down and I do my 15 minutes of meditation once I've changed. So my getting up in the morning is my trigger. My first habit is my cold shower. My second habit is my 15 minutes of meditation. And now they've become so ingrained over the last year that that's how my day begins, and I can't do anything until that's happened. And it puts me in such a good, positive state of mind to start the day. And it means that no matter what, I'm not going to have a 0 day. And this is what today's video is all about. Cool, I'm getting hot. Okay, so while I was away in Guatemala, my best friend James, he pointed out to me this incredible post that had been posted on Reddit about 6 years ago. It was by a guy called Max, and Max had written a fairly deep, disturbing and depressive kind of post on Reddit, basically just saying he just didn't care about himself anymore, and he went through so many different things that he just doesn't care about in life anymore. And you could tell this guy was in a seriously dark place. And obviously we know that it's prevalent in our society now, especially for young guys, or kind of mid-age, mid-20s to 30s to 40s. Male suicide is on the increase, so it's quite a disturbing sort of post to read. What corresponded to that was a reply by a guy called Ryan from Canada, who wrote this amazing comment, okay, to help this guy. And it became one of Reddit Gold's. It became a Reddit Gold comment basically, and it became so popular. And he went on to kind of help Max, and sort of he was basically in his comment, his reply, talking about having no 0 days. And so today I want to kind of cover this because I think it's such an amazing concept. It's something I've used with clients anyway, but it's a really good way of kind of explaining. So here we go. Basically, Ryan said to Max, 4 rules, okay, Okay, first rule, no more 0 days. So what is a 0 day? A 0 day is when you do absolutely nothing towards your hopes and your dreams. And a non-zero day is when you just do a tiny thing. It might just be tiny, might feel insignificant, but it's chipping away at your goals, at your hopes and your dreams, so that when your head hits the pillow at the end of the day, you know that you've got that little bit step closer, and it's comforting and it helps to take the pressure off. So in terms of habit creation, one of the best ways of building habits is by doing, like, for instance, meditation's a good one. When I get my clients to do meditations, I'm like, start with 5 minutes a day. 5 minutes a day is really easy for you to do. Okay, it's more harder not to sit down for 5 minutes than it is to. Now, what you're going to find on some days is that you've got time and you feel like doing 10 or maybe 15 minutes, so that's a bonus. But instead of giving yourself 15 minutes straight off the bat, then not hitting those 15 minutes and feeling like a failure, having a 0 day, we kind of create such small minor habits in our days to just making sure they're non-zero and we are kind of working towards our goals. Okay, so rule 2. Rule 2 is all about being grateful to the 3 yous he talks about. Okay, so the 3 yous are past you, present you, and future you. Okay, so present me is making decisions right now and choices, okay? Now, I'm making decisions and choices so that future me, cheers mate, can enjoy the fruits of my labour or my choices and decisions, okay? And then future me, yeah, that's me, can then celebrate all the accomplishments that he's had. And future me can give thanks back to past me. No worries, buddy, it was my pleasure. So basically, future you gets to enjoy all of the accumulation of all those good habits, behaviours and choices and decisions that past you has made, and can celebrate those in the future. So it's really important to focus on the 3 yous. Doing stuff now for you in the future who can then thank you in the past. Okay. Basically, at the heart of rule 2 is gratitude, okay? We all talk about gratitude a lot. I totally believe that actually gratitude is key to happiness, okay? So everyone wants to be happy and everyone's trying to work out how they can be happy. But I've realised that gratitude is fundamental to happiness. You can't be happy unless you're grateful for something. So instead of trying to pluck happiness out of the air and not really having anything to anchor it to, think about being grateful for who you are right now, for where you are right now, for what you have right now, for the experiences that you've had and the future you want to create. You know, once you can start really becoming more present with your life and becoming grateful for who you are right now, then you'll find happiness will just be a byproduct of that gratitude. Rule number 3, I love rule number 3. I've talked about it a couple of times on my recent coaching videos. Forgiveness, okay? Forgiveness is key. If you fuck up today and you relapse on your goals and habits, or you do have a 0 day, fuck it. Tomorrow's another day. Tomorrow will come along very quickly, like all of the others that you've lived before. So if it doesn't happen for you today, put your feet up, give yourself a pat on the back, don't worry about it, and just start again tomorrow. It's that easy. And rule number 4, I really love. It's all about exercising and reading. So obviously exercising is one of the best things you can do for your future self. Cheers mate. No worries buddy. So exercising is like putting a deposit into your bank, obviously for your health, for your future self who's going to enjoy a good healthy life, with a fit healthy body, and hopefully is going to have a long health span and live for much longer, okay? It's also going to stimulate your hormones. It's going to make you feel better about yourself right now. And again, it's another really great habit to get into that you can then stack further future habits on, such as eating well every day, such as getting up in the morning, going training, making sure you eat well, making sure you drink water. These are all these behavioural goals that I've been talking a lot about recently, okay? So exercise is really important for that. And not only that, it's going to stimulate the feel-good hormones, okay? And we want more of those. And reading. Reading is the best way to totally upgrade yourself, to up-level your knowledge and educate yourself on your habits and behaviours, and maybe upskilling yourself on a new set of skills, okay, in order for you to progress towards your goals and your dreams. So there we go. Rule 4, read and exercise, but don't read while you're exercising. So there we have the 4 rules that Ryan set out for Max. I think it really helped him going on the replies in the comments. I leave a links to these posts that you can have a read, and I'm sure there'll be lots of really beneficial stuff that you can get from it. So remember, rule 1, no more 0 days. You're going to do something tiny every day, even if it's tiny, towards your goal, okay? Number 2, thank the past you. Hey mate. Present you, yes, me, now, I'm making decisions. Yo, me. Rule number 3, forgive yourself. Tomorrow's a new day. And rule number 4, we just went through it, exercise more, move your body, and read more. Upskill yourself, give yourself an upgrade. And then I read this amazing quote recently by Robert Louis Stevenson, the famous author, and it was this: eventually, everyone sits down to a banquet of consequences. So whether you've made lots of good choices, whether past you has made lots of good, yes, I've made lots of good choices, woo-hoo, or past you made lots of bad choices, oh God, I made so many bad choices, means that whatever those choices were, good or bad, they are going to accumulate over a long period of time, okay, and become your banquet that your future self is going to have to feast on. Oh my God, I don't want to fancy looking at that. Oh, no, I'm not going to eat that. As your future self, do you want to be feasting on positivity and wonderful, exquisite flavour of life, or do you want to be feeding on poisonous negativity, okay? The choice ultimately is always down to all of us, okay? And it's up to us to make those right choices so that we can benefit from them in our lives and the people around us in the future. There we go, guys, that's another coaching video. Remember to have no 0 days. If you fancy working with me at all with your online coaching, personal training, vegan, plant-based powered, nutrition coaching, then just contact me at theplantpowerpt.com/contact. You can book in for a 20-minute free vision and goal setting call with me, and I'm going to help you go through some goals and help you set them and set that blue touch paper alight inside of you so we can explode towards your goals in 2020. Anyway, that's it for now, guys. Peace out and plant power.